As Jeff said, what we're going to talk about today is sort of one level down, start to look at sort of the product aspects of what we discussed yesterday. Which we then sort of articulate as the CPQ product vision that we have. And I'm going to take the outset where we left it, where Jeff and Nils left it yesterday, in this blueprint of what the buyer-centric smart factory, sort of on a high level, what it would consist of. So we have the guided product selection, we have amplification with artificial intelligence, this sort of cross-omni-channel coordination and consistency, and underlying, which we saw nicely by Brahma also, that analytics and insights supporting, this whole sort of machine. And obviously then we have the aspects of integration. We do not live in isolation, so that's absolutely key going forward as well. And the way we do it is that we have put together a demo where we go into specific use cases to try to showcase what would this look like in the actual product. Sort of what would the end users see, what would the channel manager see, and so on. So that is what we're going to take you through. And this is our sort of 2 to 3 year vision that we're looking at. So you will look at things that do not exist in the product today, but also, as you know, a lot of the things do exist that we're able to build this upon, sort of. So, and to my help, I have my colleague Erik Davidsson, who's going to actually run the demo. An applause for Erik.
Yeah.
And we're going to switch over to the demo now. Thank you. And really, this is hopefully for you sort of food for thoughts, inspiration, and also follow up for additional discussion. Yesterday, Jeff, you reached out and said, "Hey, we talked about how we see the world. Let's talk about it and let's discuss and let's see how we can take this forward. Is it something that you do not agree with? Is it something that you love?" And so on. So that's sort of the process that I'm taking this forward. So with that, let's start. Erik.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesper. Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here, and I'm excited to take you through an experience that highlights how Forklift Inc., which is our fictional forklift manufacturing company, powered by Tacton CPQ, is transforming how they manage their fleet and make smarter purchasing decisions. Today, we'll follow Jamie, and Jamie is the procurement lead for DHL California. And we're going to follow him on his journey to add new forklifts to his fleet. And as we go through this, I want you to notice not just the sleek interface, but also the real tangible benefits that Jamie gets with every click. So let's start. So the first thing that Jamie will see when he logs into this platform is the fleet dashboard. And basically this is where Jamie gets an immediate snapshot of his forklift fleet. He can kind of see which forklifts are up for maintenance. He can see which ones need repairs. He can even monitor the operational efficiency of each one. And now this isn't just a dashboard, it's Jamie's command center, essentially. And this insight saves him hours and hours of back and forth communication and lets him keep his fleet in top shape without making a single phone call to anyone. So Forklift Inc. is helping him to stay proactive and optimize operations at a glance. So now, Jamie is looking to expand his fleet, so he moves on to the product selection workflow. And here is where Tacton CPQ really starts to shine. So Jamie is guided through a series of high-level questions. What's the primary task for the forklift, indoor, outdoor use? And these aren't just questions. These are also essential insights into what matters for Jamie and what matters for DHL, ultimately. But here's the kicker. The AI assistant here has already made suggestions based on Jamie's previous purchases. So it's like having a personal shopping assistant who's already familiar with your needs and your taste. Jamie can either accept the pre-filled options here, or tweak them. So it's fast, it's intuitive, and it helps him make data-driven decisions. So moving on, Jamie dives into the performance requirements here. And he can input critical details like load capacity, lift height, and how long the forklift needs to operate for in terms of time. And when in doubt, Jamie can even ask the assistant for guidance and get tailored recommendations based on the context of use. And this step ensures he's not missing any key performance criteria. And the beauty here is that Jamie's purchase is already personalized before he's even finished. So after that, Jamie can get into the fun stuff, customizing attachments. So 2 attachments are already selected here based on Jamie's previous expressions of what he needs. But he also gets to explore other options here and learn more about them as he goes. He can even add new ones if he wants to here. There's also a service plan here that's already selected. And this is because Jamie always has maintenance top of mind when he's ordering forklifts for the fleet. And now he doesn't have to worry about remembering this stuff. It's all baked into the process. So we'll jump over. When all that's done, Jamie moves into the summary view. So this is where he can get a personalized recommendations for forklift, each scored with a match percentage here, and some key details that he can sift through here. So no more waddling through irrelevant options. He can toggle between a card view and a list view for side-by-side analysis. And so what's the smart thing about this comparison view? Well, Jamie can get an at-a-glance spider diagram that kind of shows where each forklift excels in terms of different categories like total cost of ownership, sustainability, durability, ergonomics, and so on. And it's all about empowering him to make the best decision for DHL. So Jamie selects a forklift here, and it's time to configure. So he's greeted by a visualization of the forklift he's about to buy. And what's great here is the interactivity. So Jamie can navigate to different categories like power performance. He can pick a stronger battery. He can select an engine add-on. And as he makes changes here, he can actually see the price update in real time and track his changes. He can go through the attachments that have been pre-selected during the selection phase. And he can also opt in to some installation services if he wants to. Another detail is that Jamie can interact with the visualization directly, jump to, for example, tire configuration, and get guidance on where he can actually impact that part of the product. So it's all smart, it's fluid, and it's designed for ease of use. Another thing that's important to illustrate here is the overview over the environmental impact. So for a company like DHL that's focused heavily on reducing its carbon footprint, this is gold. Okay, so let's move on to services. And he's entering services configuration here. And as you might recall, routine maintenance is already added, but Jamie can of course add more. He can even ask the AI assistant to provide him with guidance on what kind of services are required for the rest of his fleet, so he doesn't miss anything and he stays on top of everything. So this assistant can then suggest additional service amendments, and Jamie can simply add them with a single click. And as we see now, those services are of course added in the list of services. Naturally, Jamie can browse available services as well and review the fleet he has, and then manually add services to supplement the purchase. And this is just another example of how Forklift Inc. makes sure that Jamie is covered and he's always in control over the health of his fleet. So finally, Jamie enters the digital sales room. And this is where everything comes together. He can see the total price. He can see a breakdown of his configurations. He can see the services that he's added and the entire status of the deal. And the workflow here shows that we're in the financial review and discounting stage. And this is where things really get collaborative. So Forklift Inc. has proposed some discounts, and Jamie needs to accept them to complete the step. So he can go to the price details tab, and he can accept the discounts. He can verify that those discounts are applied off the total, and he gets an updated price. And with the communication hub here, Jamie can make sure that he and his team can chat with Forklift Inc.'s representatives. And this keeps everyone on the same page and helps to smooth out any questions in real time. And then we reach the finish line, so the contract signing. Jamie reviews this purchase agreement and signs it digitally, and then he's able to finalize this purchase. So let's do that. And we get a big splash screen that confirms the purchase with an order number and a confirmation date. So Jamie can now either download the purchase details or head back to his fleet. And guess what? When he returns, this view is updated with this new forklift that's pending delivery. And he also has additional recommendations on how to keep his fleet in top shape. So now the experience kind of comes full circle, and we'll pause there for a second. Mm-hmm.
So this first part in this user journey is like going back to the trends and what we see in the market based on the work that we've done with Jeff and his team. Sort of this sense of that the buyer does not want to talk to the seller, and sort of how to manage that and how to sort of guide and sort of guide the buyer through that journey with the right information and with the right assistance. So. But we also sort of showcase here that there is a way then to sort of digitally interact with sales and sales engineering and sort of technical knowledge and also bring other people in from his company into this process. So I think this is the first part, but the second part is about, okay, so how do you manage this and how do you work with it? So what's the role of the channel manager here, for example? So let's move into that part.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to transition into another scenario here. And now that Jamie's buying journey is complete, let's shift to Taylor Dawson. And Taylor plays a critical role as the sales channel manager for North America. And her responsibilities is to continuously analyze and optimize the buyer experience, ensuring that the customers like Jamie receive the best possible purchasing journey. And she leverages the power of the Tacton CPQ analytics platform, and to dig into the details and identify areas for improvement across the sales channels. So let's follow Taylor as she logs into the platform here to review the latest performance data and take action on some key insights that have surfaced. So Taylor is greeted here by some key KPIs such as quote velocity, average win rate, average deal size, total sales revenue. But these metrics are more than just numbers. They're insights that reflect the performance of the North American sales channels. Taylor immediately spots a drop here in the win rate for the self-service channel compared to the stronger performance of the direct sales channel, which currently sits at a 70% win rate. So now, Taylor is able to quickly drill down into the data. She selects California as her region, the industrial warehousing as her segment focus, and then product type will be pallet trucks. And now the data updates instantly to show how the performance looks compared to the wider channels. And this is where Tacton's insights and analytics really shine, allowing channel managers like Taylor to get granular views of the data and pinpoint what's affecting the sales outcomes. So one insight that stands out to Taylor is related to the underperformance of the self-service channel compared to direct sales, like we mentioned. And by interacting with this insight here, a dialog box opens up showing the factors behind this trend. And this is where Tacton's ability to surface actionable insights help Taylor understand what's going on here. And this gives Taylor a clear picture of why the self-service channel is struggling, but it doesn't stop there, of course. Tacton CPQ doesn't just highlight the problems, it offers improvement suggestions that Taylor can act on immediately. So choosing to act on these insights, Taylor is now presented with 3 optimization strategies in the context of our channel management solution. And this is all aiming to improve the buyer's journey in the self-service channel. So you have 3 suggestions to look at. Improve product selection experience, update configuration defaults, and adding help center support. And these suggestions aim to make the self-service experience as seamless and intuitive as possible. And with these improvements, Taylor can provide buyers with the tools they need to navigate the purchase journey confidently. So Taylor decides to act on the recommendation to improve the product selection experience here. So she clicks into it and she explores the details. So here she's presented with a list of tasks required to complete this optimization. Taylor had the option to manually complete the tasks, preview the changes, or accept the recommendations outright. She also gets a breakdown of the rationale behind why is this optimization important to make. In this case, she accepts the full set of tasks and marks them as completed. And this is where Tacton's omnichannel access and coordination comes into play. So Taylor's changes can be seamlessly rolled out across all buyer touchpoints. So after completing the tasks, Taylor is ready to release these changes. And when she does this, she is prompted with a dialog box showing a summary of the completed tasks and the updated configuration for the channel. So Taylor confirms this change and will in time receive a confirmation screen with a message saying optimization strategy released. And this step-by-step process empowers Taylor to take immediate action and directly improve the buyer experience based on real-time insights. And because the system tracks all of the changes, Taylor can return to her dashboard at any time to monitor the impact of her optimizations. So to conclude this, we've seen how Taylor Dawson uses Tacton CPQ and the analytics platform to analyze and optimize the sales channels. So by drilling into performance data, surfacing key insights, acting on specific improvement suggestions, Taylor can ensure that the self-service experience becomes as effective as the direct sales channel. And it's not just about reviewing the numbers, it's about taking action based on guided insights, making decisions that directly enhance the buyer experience, and seeing the impact in real time. So Tacton CPQ gives the sales leaders like Taylor the power to optimize their channels for long-term success. And that concludes the demo.
Bravo!
You like it? Yeah. You want to buy it? So, no, but that's the whole idea here. Sort of, it's because sort of, you know, when you want to go for the future, you need to start somewhere. You need to do the analysis. You need to understand what the heck is going on. Sort of, you start to formulate this blueprint, and then it's a matter of dressing this then with, okay, what would the product actually look like? So and again, sort of, I hope this is, provides ideas and inspiration and also triggers continuous discussions, sort of, that we can talk about this and see. And I think a little bit like the Brahma discussion yesterday. Have you thought about this? What about this? So I think that's how you should look at this and how we can work sort of together to realize this vision. So. But vision, it's sort of exciting and you can put together things and there's a lot of thoughts behind this. But we also want to talk about, okay, what have we actually done and how are we building towards this vision? So we're going to switch over to the next part, where we're going to announce two new capabilities here and now today. So you'll be the first one to know about it. So. And we're super excited about these two because I think it's a big move for Tacton and we're moving into new things. So let's start with the first one. So the first is services sales. So we're sort of well known for our capabilities in configuring, pricing, and quoting products. Now we're taking a big step in to the services area as well, and expanding what we can do and what we can help you with, sort of into a new area. So a new user category, a new use case. So, and this first version of our services sales offering could be described as like after sales built on sort of installed base. And so to sort of give an overview of what this is in a simple way, there's an installed base, and via API, this can be brought into Tacton, and then now you can configure services, sort of set the scope. If there's people involved, you can set the roles. You can actually set what kind of products or what kind of services types. So, and there are 5 types right now. So you have preventive management, corrective maintenance, consumables, catalog products, and trainings and so on to provide that package to your customers. So then there's this aspect which is sort of new compared to products. There's this scheduling aspect where you need to, okay, what should happen when and who should do what and so on. So we have this aspect as well. Sort of once this put together, obviously then there's sort of pricing. There are sort of specifics about pricing of services compared to products. So this is a new pricing package that we put together as well. So all this then, would allow you now at this point to start to look at Tacton for also managing the installed based services and that part of your business. So I'm also happy to say that we have 1 customer in production on this. And we'd be more than happy to talk to the rest of you about this as well. So just to prove it to you, it's real, sort of. So there are a few screenshots here. So I think also going back to the blueprint now, you see we're starting to add the boxes into that picture. So, and I think this is a big move for us, and super excited to discuss this with you and see where we can take it. So that was services sales. The next capability I'm equally excited about is we refer to it as self-service channels. So, and this is something we've offered sort of omni-channel capabilities. We have a lot of experience from that, and probably a lot of you here, or a few of you at least, are using these capabilities. I believe now we're taking this to the next level. So, and I'll showcase this with a few slides just to step through why I claim this, why I think this is next level, why I think this is sort of why I'm so excited about it. So imagine then that you have, this is your sort of external facing site for sort of offering your products to your end customers. So, okay, now how do you get configuration in here? So, okay, right? So you start with like an empty site like this. So what these new capabilities will allow you to do is the following. Just go in to that website part, that the CSS code, sort of add 1 line, go back and refresh, and bam, you have the configuration view in your website. So, so this, took me 20 seconds to click through, but it also takes 20 seconds to get in place. So keep adding that sort of visualization and the navigation. 1 more line, refresh, bam. Okay, you're ready to sell. So obviously this is building on the key concept that Nils brought up yesterday and Bo brought up yesterday. That one source of truth that we can sort of expose throughout this and make this possible. So it's building on the already market leading configuration technology that we have, but it's just a matter of exposing this in what I would describe as a low-code, no-code type of way. So you don't want sort of the process of getting this in place to hold you back. So if you have done the groundwork of putting the products in place, then why don't you expose it? So this is not only sort of a new capability, it's also, I would say, a little bit of a shift for us in the way that we look at how do we want to provide you with products and capabilities. So we want to make it easy, quick, hopefully not sort of adding a lot of project and IT time to it. Sort of. This is also what we try to exemplify in the Vision demo, where you have we have the channel manager being able to analyze and then deploy changes. So there's also the aspect here is that we've sort of composed the CPQ in sort of the C and the P and the Q in a slightly different way, so that we can move a bit freely between these services. Sort of. You'll see more about this, and Per will show you a longer demo, a video about this. So where he also goes into, okay, if I don't like how this looks, how can I change it? And he will show that equally easy just then to make sure it has your colors, your fonts, your roundings of corners. So and I think this approach to sort of also make it sort of for you flexible. Sort of where do you want to do things and where do you want to put things and how do you want to make it, and then but provide you with the easy tools to get it in place. So that's some of the key aspect of this. So it's as much a new capability as also new technology in the background that we've developed. So services sales and I forgot what the name, Omni. Exactly. Thank you. We changed it the other day. So, but we also have a few interesting and exciting new technology pieces that I want to talk about. And maybe someone can guess what it is. But so we looked at this picture yesterday. Nils talked about AI and the fact that there are sort of different types of AI. And the idea here is to use sort of the AI that's fit for purpose, and also use AI when it's fit for purpose, and not all the time, everywhere, because it's an exciting technology. So we're super excited about this. Sort of, if you look at the development in generative AI, it's ridiculous, amazing. So as we also try to show in the demo, we see it as showing up everywhere and sort of augmenting the end user and sort of you guys as well in the things that you want to do. So what have we done? So audited today, as you hopefully know, sort of our configurator engine is AI, symbolic AI. Sort of. But what we have done right now, and what we worked on during the year, is also to add 2 more AI engines to this picture. So we have a generative AI engine and a predictive AI engine. So completing this, and you see, sort of, and you could ask like, well, where's all your features that you do? So we believe that it's absolutely critical to get this stuff right. To build a foundation in the architecture, in the technology, so that we then can add the ideas, use cases like this. So so just talking a little bit about what's this stuff. So our engine here is a omni-channel or maybe multi-model structure. So through this, sort of, you can access multiple models depending on sort of actually a few different things. Obviously, the OpenAI models are available, but also open models. This is a bit confusing. Like OpenAI should, as you know, be called closed AI, but because their models are closed, but sort of depending on sort of the performance that you're looking for and what you want to get out of it. But also, are you allowed to send data to OpenAI? what happens to that data? Sort of, how do we make sure that you're protected? Sort of. There's also another aspect that is sort of the cost of working with these. So it needs to be taken into account, especially if you think like you're exposing things to the end customers. Sort of, and they start to ask, instead of asking about your products, they ask, okay, how do I get to Paris and so on. So, which is also gets into sort of guardrails working with that, making sure that it's only managing the stuff that you want it to manage. So we believe that this is the right approach, both from a sort of a performance and sort of cost management and also data security approach. So these are also key things that we put some thought in to make sure it's right. So again, now we're ready just to move forward now and start adding use cases. Both talked already about a few, sort of which we have prototyped and showcased and so on, just to make sure. But we're also extremely interested in getting you guys into this discussion, because I think it's key that we find those good use cases that actually saves time, actually improves efficiency, and make things sort of easier and faster and so on. So we have ideas, but we're more than happy to listen to your ideas as well. So the last sort of piece is when it comes to integrations. I'm going to steal a little bit of Matthias' thunder here, but we're super excited about a new partnership with a new integration platform that we can embed into Tacton, and it's Workado. Also top when it comes to Gartner's, their own quadrant. So we believe by marrying these two together in that partnership, we can offer sort of shorter time to value and smoother integrations, less use of specific resources. Sort of if that's if you don't want to do this yourself, sort of that's how we look at it.